What's going on, cryptocurrency universe? It's the Bitcoin miner here, guys. Well, I want to give a shout out to Cryptomined. If you haven't checked out his channel, I definitely suggest you do. He's got a store, and I ordered a couple of t-shirts from him, along with some risers. He had a really good deal on them. So I went ahead and decided to get some risers from him, and the risers finally showed up for the case, so I'm going to work on trying to put those on in here in a few minutes. He also hooked me up with some really cool banners. I love it, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I love them. Nice backdrop for the videos. So definitely, man, totally. Nice lookout, along with some really cool coins. I did purchase some of this stuff, guys, but he hooked me up. I do appreciate it. He's not paying me to do a review or anything by any means. I'm just giving him a shout out. He's a friend of mine. We talk back and forth. And how did you know I needed some more of these things? Did you watch me do my little screw trick over here or something? But I was out of these, so good lookout, man. Definitely appreciate it again. But so I got more parts in for the fans. These showed up as well, so I've got all kinds of adapters. These little adapters in this bag are going to be from 4 to 3s, which should work. And then I've got, these are Ys. This is a 3-way Y. I believe I could power these fans pretty comfortably, 2 of them on one plug. Rather it be to the motherboard, the 4-pin motherboard on the motherboard, which is right there. I believe that's it. Anyhow, I'll have to double check. But yeah, there's a couple 4 pins on the motherboard. Or by powering just full blast this way. I'm going to run a power test here in a minute. That's since I got the meter in and we know what we're running at, which is, well, it's usually right around 75, 80. See, it fluctuates some. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and plug that in, and we'll see how much power 2 of these fans draw, just to give us an idea. But I don't think it's going to be an issue at all. I'm just kind of testing everything. And let me go ahead and plug that in. Had a small disaster on my hands. These aren't moving, fortunately. But there's some serious wind coming out of these fans, guys. Those are some really cool coins. Let's see. Go over here, check our power usage. Wow. They definitely move some air, but they're definitely using some watts too. So we were pretty much, oh, it's dropping. Let's see what this stabilizes at. Because we were at like 80 basically. So 2 of these yeah, it's adding about 70 watts. Holy cow. So each one of these fans is pulling about 30 watts. Well, it's a lot cheaper than running an AC system, so that's definitely something to consider. Yeah, that's definitely something to consider. Now, something else that we could probably do is only run 2 of these instead of 3 of these. Because adding the 70 watts is definitely totally acceptable for fans. But by the time you're adding the third, you're going to be at around 100 watts, just so you guys know, which is not a big deal in reality, especially, like I said, when you're not talking about having to run AC or anything like that to keep them cool. You're keeping them cool just by sheer airflow and air volume movement. So that's great. Now this is running them at full blast. Obviously, we can, run them at 50%, 60%, whatever. So I did get one cable here, which will actually allow me, instead of plugging it straight into this, to plug it into the motherboard. So this is a three-way splitter. Hold on. Okay, so this is the three-way splitter. I found this on Amazon. I'll also put links to Cryptomined store and Cryptomined's YouTube page. He's got a lot of good info on there if you guys haven't checked it out. Very good guy. Oh, and while I'm giving shout-outs and stuff and thinking about it, the Nexus stuff that I've been checking out, I want to actually give credit to IMineBlocks. If you haven't checked out his channel as well, make sure to do so. I think he put this in his top 5 mineable list. I don't know, some 4 or 5 months ago. I missed it, didn't notice it. I try to check out videos from different people all the time. Just been so busy, as you guys know. Recently got engaged, and we've just been... It's been a whirlwind. It's been great, though. Don't get me wrong. Been loving every minute of it. Just haven't had much time to keep up. But I wanted to make sure to give him a shout out because he's the first one that called this. And then I heard about it sometime in January due to the mini SAT launches. And very interesting stuff, guys. Very interesting. Definitely want to check out Nexus. And then you can mine it with the CPU. So I've got the CPU miner going right now, and this is just one of the cores on the Celeron, and then I am dabbling with an RX 488 gigabyte card, and this is what it's doing right here, and this is solo mining. So I'm not really pool mining at all, so I'm testing it all out, trying to learn it. But I really just wanted to give a shout out back to the main project at hand. So the advantage of this cable right here is I can actually control through the motherboard or through the BIOS the fan speeds of technically 3 of these, but I don't believe that it would run 3 of these. I think this little cable would burn up, catch on fire. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to try it. Definitely can run 1, no questions in my mind. 2 of them I think will be okay. I think 2 of them will be okay. So what I'll try is 2 of them and break out the heat gun and see if they seem to get hot on me during the process, but I'll just have to keep that in mind. And what I'm thinking to do, since I only have 1 of these, and I've got all kinds of other parts over here. This is just a direct power version, kind of something like my ghetto rig version. But there's no sides on it, so you can easily slide a 4-prong on there. I've ordered a couple of those, trying to get free shipping. Yeah, so basically what I'll do is just use one of my ghetto rigged or one of those and put 1 fan, probably the center fan, full power, and then plug the 2 outsides and put them at like 50% or something, and that way I can reduce the power. So sweet, I've got a power game plan for this device. So it's moving a lot of air, and at the same time it's moving it nice and even across, and at the same time I'm going to do it with a moderate amount of power. So I think I can reduce the 100 watts down to 60, give or take. Who knows? We'll figure that out when I actually get this thing wired. So let's set this up a little bit more. Okay, I went ahead and plugged the 2 in. 2 of the seem to have longer cords than the other one, so I might have to flip-flop a fan around if I want to do them in a certain order. But none of that really matters. These are plugged in right here into the fan 1. It's a case fan 1. And I got both of these 2 fans plugged in. So whatever the motherboard's automatically set at is obviously a much lower velocity than full-blown like they were running before. So I seriously doubt I'm going to have an issue with these wires overheating, but I'll try to keep an eye on them as I test this. Let's go over here and check the meter. So... don't know why we're so low on watts, but let's give this a second. Maybe it's a downtime for the mining. Much better. So it seems to be running right around 100 watts, 110 watts. So let's say 110 watts. So we went from 80 to 110 watts. That's about 30 watts more per fan. And these things are still moving a lot of air. So I definitely believe this is going to be the way to go with this setup, and not running them full blast like I had them running doing the other method. So I'm going to have to look into ordering a couple more of these, or just single versions that are extensions. I think that's going to work a lot better than some of the other stuff I had ordered and tried. Too bad I ordered all this stuff. I guess I'll have to send it back, but I'm lazy. Maybe I'll keep it for future endeavors. Anyhow, I've got some of these new risers also in. Oops, I got these fans on, so let me move everything down. These are the new SATA plugs. So you don't even have the little wire that goes from the Molex to the boards anymore. These just plug straight into the SATA. So you don't just totally skip that cheap little extension thing. So these are really, really cool. Have not had a chance to try them. I'm going to be testing them out in this rig here. Of course, it's the USB that came with it. I love the fact that it is in Ziploc bags, so this makes these things so much easier to reuse. I did get another version from him, and he sent me a sample of a different one. Let me turn these fans off so you guys can actually hear me. Okay, so this one right here is the version 6. And this one, if you notice, has, it's kind of dark in that box, but if you look right there, see if I can get the camera to focus, or my phone really, right there, there's a little extra resistor breaker. Not really sure what that is for, but basically it's better for the Molex. It's kind of like an overvolt protection, not 100% sure, something along those lines. More of a protection. Then you have the standard Molex to SATA cable to plug in. So from my understanding from Cryptomined, he's been dabbling and testing these. This is the best one to use if you have to use this version because of the overvolt. Not a pro on this, haven't used it yet, just kind of dabbling, just kind of show you guys what I got. So I'm going to have to play with that. This one is the one I really look forward to use because it's just straight SATA plug. You just plug it in straight off your hard drive, or right straight off your power supply. So that plugs straight to that, and you totally skip the little cheap little floppy part. So I think that's really the best way to go. There's a new card out he also has, which is just a straight 6-pin. So now if you've got extra 6 pins from your power supply, like maybe the EVGA 1600s, I think you might have 2 extras or 3 extras. You can mix match, run 2 of them off of this, and then just run 4 off your peripherals or the SATA connection, so that way you don't overdraw the SATA on the power supplies. But the EVGAs are pretty good. But it's a way to mix match where the power is coming from. So these are definitely a newer board that I've seen, that these things are pretty cool. So hopefully I'll be setting all these up in here, and I will be testing the different varieties. Before I go ahead and start to wrap this up, I was just noticing that there's a pretty drastic difference, or seems to be. This one has an extra, really not sure what these devices are, but it's got an extra device here. It's got an extra capacitor over here. It's using more little devices here and here. Don't know how well you guys can really see if my phone is focusing. There we go. So there's two more things right here, an extra chip, and some really small stuff right here. I'm guessing so that way, I'm not sure what all these things are or what they do. Cryptomined, if you know, chime in. Basically, it's probably just something to be able to take the power straight using the 8-pin. Oh, excuse me, the 6-pin connector. Even this one doesn't have it. So I'm guessing it has a lot to do with the way the power is being fed, the amount of power that can come in, and probably the voltages from different rails. But I just wanted to point out the difference. I'll be using these in this build, and we'll see how everything goes. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Remember to give a thumbs up to the video if you liked it. If you don't like it, unfortunately, give me a thumbs down. I do the best that I can. See you guys in the next video. Talk to you later on.